The envelope in my hands seemed to carry the weight of decades, not just paper. 25 pages of dense legal jargon that would hand over our cherished waterfront retreat on Lake Huron in Ontario to my grandson, Ethan. An $8 million slice of Canadian wilderness that my late wife Eleanor and I had snagged for a mere $280,000 back in 1985. The year we married and dreamed big. This was the same rustic cabin where we'd nurtured our daughter Sarah, where Ethan had splashed through endless summers, reeling in walleye from the pier, his laughter echoing across the water like music. At 65, I sat in my attorney's office in downtown Sault Ste. Marie, fountain pen poised, heart swelling with pride. Ethan, now 29, lounged across from me with his fiancée Kayla by his side, their faces beaming with what I thought was genuine excitement. I'd already passed the bulk of my construction empire to Sarah. This cabin was my crowning bequest, a sanctuary for Ethan to build his future family, before I retreated to a quiet apartment in Toronto, a timeless inheritance, a haven of memories. My phone vibrated sharply, jolting me for a moment, an unfamiliar number. I nearly dismissed it as junk, but a nagging curiosity tugged at me. What if it was important? The message glowed. Mr. Thompson, hold off on signing. Open your email now. The file labeled Huron Secrets. Your grandson's hiding a dark side. My pulse quickened, a chill racing down my spine. Ethan caught my hesitation. Grandpa, you good. I glanced at him, flannel jacket I'd gifted last birthday, eyes wide and innocent. The boy who'd once clung to my leg during thunderstorms, who'd sobbed uncontrollably at Eleanor's graveside 4 years ago, whispering she was his guardian angel. Just some telemarketer nonsense, I muttered, masking the tremor in my voice. But inside, a storm brewed, doubt creeping in like fog over the lake. Mind if I step out for a quick break? Nature calls. In the restroom, door bolted. I fumbled with my phone, heart pounding as if it might burst. The email waited, subject, before you surrender your dream. I tapped the attachment, breath held. First up, a captured chat between Ethan and Kayla, time-stamped 3 weeks prior. Ethan, the old guy sealing the deal Friday. Deeds ours by Sunday. Kayla, at last. When do we hit the market? Ethan, realtor buddy says Tuesday if we hustle. Even at $7.2 million quick flip, we're golden. Kayla, Sarah's gonna freak. Ethan, she'll deal once it's sold. Grandpa won't notice from his retirement pad. He's too frail for trips up north anyway. The words blurred through tears I fought back. Reading again, the betrayal sank deeper, twisting like a knife. How could this be? Ethan, planning to auction off our sacred spot. Not a treasure, but to cash in? I scrolled, dread mounting. What else lurked here? Next, Ethan's financials, somehow procured, $280,000 drown in red ink. Cards overdrawn, loans exhausted, wire transfers to a Vince Russo labeled casino payoff. $280,000. The precise sum Eleanor and I had scraped together for that cabin. Our leap of faith. My hands shook. Memories flooded. Eleanor's smile as we signed the original deed. Her voice. This is our forever, Robert. Curiosity burned hotter. What drove this? The third file. A mock listing for our Huron haven. Priced at $7,850,000. Eager seller. Fast, close ideal. Agent, Kayla Rivera. Kayla, Ethan's fiancée, moonlighting as the broker. Conflict screamed from the page. Fourth, emails from 7 months back, mere weeks after Eleanor's passing. Kayla, sorry about Gran, but silver lining? Ethan, how so? Kayla, he's raw, vulnerable now. Push the inheritance angle. Say it's to honor her spirit. He'll buy it hook, line, sinker. Ethan, feels shady. Kayla, it's smart business. Clear your debts to those loan sharks. They're circling. Plus my cut. Win-win. I slumped against the sink, world spinning. The air grew thick, suffocating. I'd practically raised Ethan since he was 7 after his dad vanished. Taught him to tie knots, hammer nails, respect the wild. 3 months ago, his plea. Grandpa, let me have the cabin to start fresh with Kayla, keep Gran's memory alive. I'd wept with joy, now it poisoned me. All a ruse to erase his gambling abyss. Mr. Thompson, all set. My lawyer, Mark Ellis, rapped gently. It's been a while. 1 more minute. I croaked, steady myself. I forwarded the bombshell to my secure inbox, erased traces, and stared into the mirror. A weathered 65-year-old who'd erected skyscrapers from scratch, endured Eleanor's cancer battle, believed in blood bonds. Rage boiled, but Eleanor's wisdom echoed. Don't lash out in heat, Robert. Wait till clarity comes. 2 paths. Explode now or feign ignorance. Plot wisely. I chose the latter. Back in the room, I eased into my chair. Apologies, folks. Pen and grip, I eyed the line, then laid it aside. Actually, this hits hard today. Big step. Mind if we table it till next week? Need to marinate. Ethan's grin cracked. But Grandpa, everything's prepped. Mark's time. I get it, son. But at my age, with $8 million on the line, a breather's fair. Kayla interjected smoothly. Mr. Thompson, Ethan's so eager to make it our family nest. Maybe grandkid soon? We're even ring shopping. Her hand clasped his, eyes pleading. The performance, flawless, rehearsed. Thrilling. I replied flatly. All the more reason for perfection. Ethan's jaw clenched, but he conceded. Fine, whatever you need. As I drove away, another text pinged. Smart move holding off. More to uncover. Meet. I parked, staring. Who? How? Why me? Fingers trembling, I replied. Identity? Instant. A kindred spirit. Stung by kin's deceit. Details in person. Noon tomorrow. Pier bench at Huron Park. Solo. Sleep evaded me that night. Mind reeling through flashbacks. Ethan at 8, beaming with his first catch. At 18, confiding dreams over campfires. At Eleanor's wake, his embrace fierce. Gifts I'd given. $60,000 for his startup venture. Repairs on his SUV. Wisdom shared. Real or facade. A hollow ache grew. What if my whole perception shattered? Noon found me on that bench, waves lapping, distant shores hazy under autumn sun. A woman in her late 50s approached. Curly silver hair. Fleece jacket from McMaster University. Mr. Thompson? Appreciate you trusting. And you are? Linda Patel. My cottage is 4 lots from yours, the green one with red shutters. We nodded hello over fences, nothing more. How'd you know Ethan's scheme? Linda sighed deeply. 3 months back on my porch, voices drifted. Ethan and Kayla on your land, plotting to sway you post-loss, flip the place fast, divvy proceeds. She flashed a pic, them on your dock, intimate, oblivious. I eavesdropped. More, she confessed, voice cracking. Saw them scouting with agents, snapping pics like owners. Ignored at first, but it haunted me. Why? Intervene now. Tears brimmed. A decade ago, my son tricked me into funding his venture. Vanished with $150,000 from my late husband's estate. Radio silence for years. I spotted the red flags you missed. Couldn't let history repeat. The proof, Tex Banks. She averted eyes. My nephew's a cybersecurity whiz. We bent rules for evidence. Regret the method, but you deserve truth. Silence stretched, wind whispering. Secrets. Your son. Return broke 5 years back. We're mending fences, but scars linger. Trust fragile. She passed a flash. Drive. Full dossier here. Decide wisely. That week, I pored over it. All endless chats. Schemes to hide from Sarah. Squabbles over splits. Plans to. Splurge on luxury. Worst. Pre-Eleanor death text. Kayla, doc say weeks. Left. Ethan, harsh, but prime time to nudge him, grief's hour. Lever. They'd feign sorrow at her bedside, eyes on the prize. Agony. Consume me. Days of isolation. Appetite gone. Sarah's calls dodged with, I'm okay. Heartbreak clawed. How to shatter her world too. Thursday resolve. Harden. I phoned Ethan. Kiddo, you were spot on. Let's sign tomorrow. But twist up at the cabin? Make it epic. Sarah. Pals barbecue vibe. Legacy. Handover bash. Pause. A party? Complicates. Worth it. For 40 years worth. 4 p.m. sharp. Bring Kayla. He agreed warily. Then to Sarah, trust blindly. Cabin tomorrow. 3:45. Quiet on Ethan. To Mark. New docs needed. Will revisions email specs. To Linda. Your drive's key. Join us. Next day, cabin gleamed. Under crisp sky, lake mirroring heavens. I'd built every inch. Eleanor's flower. Beds, my hand-hewn beams. Setup, laptop, projector on shed wall. Sarah arrived, puzzled. Dad. Patience. Ethan and Kayla at 3:55. Champagne in tow. Force cheer. Mark followed. Linda too. Ethan frowned. Her. Neighbor witness. More eyes, more meaningful. Bye. For 15 gathered. Locals, old crewmates. Tension thick. Folks, thanks for being here. I boomed. This cabin's my heart. Eleanor and I's soul. Today, fate twists. Ethan's unease grew. But first, a tale of shattered bonds, greed's venom. I projected. Ethan's damning texts. Gasps. Rippled. Sarah choked. Ethan blanched. Slide by slide, debts listings, manipulations. No. Sarah wailed. Ethan bolted up. Grandpa, wait. Explain exploiting Eleanor's death? Your grand's agony is your gain. Kayla fled to her car. And you, realtor in cahoots. Fraud ring. A bell. Mark confirmed. Elder exploitation, ethics breach. Ethan crumbled. I spiral with debts, bad crowds. Panicked. Honesty could have saved. Us. I whispered, voice breaking. Instead, you weaponized my pain. Sarah sobbed, my own son. To Mark. Read the new. Will. Trust. $280,000 loan for Ethan's debts. Repaid over 20 years at 4%. Cabin and estate to Sarah. $60,000 to Linda for her bravery. She protested, not for reward. Precisely why. Ethan wept. I don't deserve mercy. You don't, but blood's thick. Repay rehab. Gambling. Prove change. Maybe rebuild in time. He left broken, Kayla. Trailing. Crowd dispersed sympathetically. Sarah clung. How'd you uncover? A stranger's kindness, born of her scars. That evening, solo on. The porch. Sunset ablaze. Eleanor's presence lingered. Text from Ethan over. Years. Fish pics, repair vids. Love you, Grandpa. Genuine kernels. Amid deceit, Linda's words. Rebuilding takes years. At 65, energy waned, but hope flickered. 3 months on, I ditched Toronto for full-time cabin life. Sarah visits weekly healing. Together. Linda's my confidant. Porch chats on forgiveness. Ethan's in. Recovery, payments prompt. Split from Kayla. Grinding jobs. No contact yet, raw. Wounds. But his burner texts. 6 months clean. Payment. Sent. Miss you. Unanswered, but archived. Someday, perhaps, we'll fish again, mend bridges over Huron's waves. Betrayal's shadow long, but redemption's spark endures. What if Linda stayed? Silent? I'd be shattered, legacy dust. Her courage saved me. Now evenings glow. Golden, gratitude swells. For instincts heated, bonds preserved, lessons etched. Family's not just blood, it's choices, second shots. The cabin stands, a beacon of resilience. For more heart-wrenching tales, hit the next video. In Betrayal's wake, true strength emerges, not in vengeance, but guarded grace.